Hello, Aries. Thank you very much for tuning into your love read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the They Lima Tarot by Renata Lechner. For the support of Oracle cards, I'm going to use the Magical Spell cards by Lucy Cavendish, illustrated by Jesse Reisch. Reisch is R-E-I-S-C-H. Alright, already shuffled. Relationship first, single second, and Oracle cards come out as necessary. This is Aries, right? Yep. I'm like, this first card that popped out, I'm like, whoo. Now, just to be fair, I connect usually pretty well with Aries energy, but I'm going to be honest, this first card that popped out, I don't know, might be a little rough. Just get a fair warning. Okay. Excuse me. Alright, now, what we're pulling into just to start, now is it starting here? It's starting here, and it's kind of, okay. You got the Page of Cups, and you got the Strength. It's a situation you're involved in. It's good, but like it's like 5, 6 good. I feel like on a scale of 1 to 10, it's definitely good. 5, 6, like on the good scale, if that makes sense. Like, you like it. Nothing wrong with it. Goes well. You enjoy some of it, but it's not one of those things you could live without. I don't know if that makes sense. I hope that fits in correctly, because I feel like the Strength with the Page of Cups is also like you're trying to force yourself to try to like it more than you actually do. Again, it's not a bad thing, but it's kind of like it's okay, but you're trying to force yourself to like it more than you truly do. Now, why are you doing this? I'm getting the Safe Home Protection and the Nine of Cups for your partner. Your partner seems to like this a lot more than you. You seem to know that. For that reason, you're just kind of like, there's nothing wrong with it. There's no reason not to like it, is what I'm getting. So it's just kind of like, sure, you're just trying to like it more. But I'm also getting the Strength in your challenge card. Like, the Strength is popping in, but it's also in the challenge. Like, I feel like the more you're trying to force yourself to like it, the less you actually do. Now, okay, so this isn't as bad as I thought. This is better than I thought. Where you're standing is the Devil card, and you got prosperity here. I feel like you're looking at the situation to start off with. Your partner likes it. You're trying to force yourself to like it. I feel like you're trying to force yourself to stick with it. I'm getting prosperity with the Devil card. Like, you're trying to force yourself to stick with it. You're just trying to force yourself to do it the way they want it to be done. You're trying to keep the situation. But I feel like the reason the Devil card is here is because I think what I'm kind of starting to feel is you're ignoring your inner voice that's saying, you know what, let's change this up. Because you know how much your partner likes it, you love your partner, you're not looking to make life rough for them. But I feel like the Devil card is saying you're not listening to your inner voice that's saying, you know what, it's time to this is going to have to change. Because you got prosperity next to the Devil card, like, it's time to change. But I feel like you're standing there also with the Devil card, like you feel like that's not fair to your partner. So it's almost like the subordination to the situation. We're going to just start rhyming with that, apparently. It's just, that's the Devil card. Okay, that's not really that bad, because I feel like that Devil card, that can go a few different ways, but I feel like they're saying you're doing it to yourself. You're getting the inner inkling it's time to move forward. And you're fighting it because you feel like it's not fair to your partner. That's what that really feels like. And I'm getting the challenge card for your partner, and I don't think they're talking about it just yet. Not just yet. But they're looking at the situation. They do like it. They definitely do. But they get the Seven of Pentacles. It seems like they realize it's kind of coming to its moment. It's going to come to a change moment. It's going to come to a moment where it's time to move on. And they seem to be quite aware of it. Because I feel like this is another reason why you're kind of got that Devil card. You're having the inkling. Like, a part of you already knows it's time to change the situation. Your partner does come forward with the Queen of Swords energy, and don't get caught up in the gender, of course. And they finally do tell you, you know, sooner or later this situation is going to change. They seem to see it as like it's becoming outdated for one reason or another. And spiritually, they're also matching their Queen of Swords energy with the Queen of Pentacles. Again, don't get caught up in the gender, but this is basically saying they're communicating to you that this is going to have to evolve. And they'd rather move into it slowly and easily rather than just like getting to a point where it's just out of date and it's just doing something that's just no longer effective. The thing is, when they tell you this, you're already ready to move forward is what I'm getting. Like, you've been ignoring your inner voice for a while is what it feels like. And you want to move on. You got these two cards kicking you forward. You got the Chariot in your spiritual sense, and you got the Wheel of Fortune and what's happening. Your partner acknowledges that the situation is going to have to change. And I feel like it just seems to, it's almost like flipping a switch, and you start changing it right away is what I'm getting. I don't think this is bad. I do think, though, your partner is going to be kind of a little resistant to the quick change. Because I'm getting here what helps them is the King of Cups. The King of Cups with the Seven of Wands. Like, what would help them is to slow it down a bit. They would like to slow it down a bit. I feel like they would like to do it slower. What I'm seeing is actually happening with them is the Knight of Wands with the Harvest. Your energy is pushing it forward to the harvest. They don't seem to be fighting that, but they would like to take it slower. I feel like what would balance this out for you is the Knight of Cups here in your what makes things better section, I call it. The improvement section, what's going towards your favor. I feel like you can still keep this going forward in your own momentum, but I feel like if you let them go slower on their end and you just go forward with what you want to go forward, I feel like there's kind of like, you're still on the same page, but you're kind of dividing how you're each handling it. I feel like you can balance that and let them go a little slower with what they want to go slower, and you can go forward quicker with what you want to go quicker. I just feel like you're kind of dividing the situation up. You know, there's only so much you can do that with, I get that, but I feel like that's the Knight of Cups. Like, almost like you're picking up some of the slack for them temporarily so they can go a little slower on some other things. And you're going forward, like, really, I feel like you're going full board because you're ready to move forward. I feel like that would balance this out. And I almost feel like that's the point of this reading if it's coming towards you at the right time. There's a fly in here. Sorry. Is there anything else we're worried about with this? I just don't. I feel like I feel like you're kind of like a wind-up toy when it comes to the Devil card. Like, I feel like you've been wanting to change this for a while, and when you finally get the green light to do it, I just feel like you can't help yourself but to move forward, and with a pretty good rate. I'm just feeling like if this is coming towards you, the way that you can make this better for your partner, which seems to be what it's hinging on anyway, is for you to do what you want to do on your own and just like pick up a little extra slack so they can just go slower with the change. I feel like that will even this out in a satisfactory way for you. I feel like that'll work better than just kind of pulling them forward, because I feel like you don't want to take this from them. For some reason, it feels like it's something you don't want to take from them. You want to let them enjoy it while they can. And dividing it up and just letting them go slowly on their side and you moving forward at the rate you want to, just dividing it up seems to make the big difference. Alright, I don't feel like that's that bad. I feel like you might have some guilt about moving forward, and I feel like that might be the kicker. Maybe it's just working through that, because the situation is going to move forward. And I feel like when your partner acknowledges it, you're just like, green lights the whole way, and you just go. So, hopefully that helps. It doesn't seem like that's a bad rating, really. I feel like that's good. Alright, let's go on to Aries single. See what we have for single Aries. What do we have for single Aries? I'll be honest, I saw that first card, the Devil card, and I was like, what are we getting into? I was like, what are we about to get into here? That wasn't bad in my opinion, considering that card popped up at all. Now, what do we have for Aries? Single Aries. Messages for single Aries, empowering information that shows them the truth of a situation, empowers them to move forward the way they want to, enlightenment and strength, whatever they need to move forward and see the truth. Got the Hanged Man right in the beginning, which may not be a bad thing. And we got Captain Happy again. And we got the strength at the bottom, and we got the Chariot and the Wheel at the end again. There's a lot of these cards are different, I'll give you that. A lot of them are different, but the combination of the Chariot and the Wheel at the end here, that makes me wonder. Is there a guilt thing going on here? No. Yes. Aphrodite's love spell at the bottom. Aphrodite's love spell, which can sometimes denote it could be like a flash in the pan moment where somebody gets your attention and it's very hot and heavy for a moment, but then, it's kind of like the wind blows, the moment passes, the next day the sun rises and you're just kind of over it. That can sometimes happen. Sometimes it's kind of like, it was great for a moment, but I don't know what to say now. I'm not feeling it now. That can be that card sometimes. I've seen that happen. Now, I feel like I'm warning about that because I'm seeing some interesting energy here. And I feel like the Aphrodite's love spell is more talking about the past. I'm feeling, and don't get caught up in the gender, of course, you got a lot of king energy here. Well, you got literally 2 kings and you got the emperor, so sometimes I put him in the same king category because he seems to be like the head of the organization, if you will. I do feel like there's a lot of love here in the past. There was a moment with this person in the past. I almost feel like there was a moment that kind of, it was there, it was something, for whatever reason, it didn't go any farther. For some of you, I feel like one of you might have been, or maybe both of you were in a relationship. There was an acknowledgement of feelings, whatever that means for you, and then due to the situations one or both of you might have been in, it was just like a no-go. It was just a no-go. From that moment, I feel the other person here, the Emperor, I feel like the reason we're using the Emperor is because this person's been thinking about this and kind of wanting to move towards being in a relationship with you. I feel like that has been the situation. This Emperor person does want to move towards you. I do feel like they want to move towards you. Of course, don't get caught up in the gender, just this, it's the energy coming to, it's like very stable. It's been thinking about all the angles. This person's been thinking about this a lot and about like, how would that happen? How should this happen? I feel like this person may have freed themselves from a relationship to go that direction. Now, it's what's coming into the center, and I feel like that's what we're talking about, your thoughts with the Devil card and Destiny here. In the center, you got the Hanged Man with the Page of Swords. This other person seems to be ready to move forward. They want to move forward. I feel like they might even be trying to talk you into moving forward with them. I'm getting the Hanged Man with the Page of Swords, kind of like you're not, I feel, well, for whatever reason, you're not moving forward. You don't feel like you can, but you're being very perceptive. That Aphrodite's love spell, like that one moment, and you're just kind of like, I don't know. I feel like you're not confident with where this is going to go. Like, you're not confident that's a good move for you. And I'm getting the Devil card with the Destiny. Kind of like the Devil gets his due, everything will balance out. If I make a misstep now, like I'm going to pay for it later. I feel like there's some reason here you feel like it's not right for you to move forward. Because the Devil's in your thoughts. And I feel like it's you kind of coming down on yourself. Like, if I move forward on this, there's repercussions for that, and I'm going to deserve that. Like, if I make a misstep now, it's going to come back and snap me. It's going to get me, it's going to come back, and it's going to hurt. So I feel like that's one of the reasons for the I don't want to say indecision, you're just not moving, the immobility. You're not moving forward on this. You're paying attention, you're watching, you're seeing how this person's coming towards you, you're seeing what's going around in the whole situation. And I feel like the bottom card here with the Seven of Pentacles is saying you're not thinking this is really the right time to move forward. You're not saying you won't at some point, but maybe right now is not the best time. Because I feel like it seems to be very heavy on you. Like, I make a misstep now, I'm going to get smacked in the face, and it's going to hurt. It's really going to hurt. And then I'm not going to like it. I want to avoid it. I think it's going to leave a mark. I might need to have surgery to fix it. It's like one of those hits. Like, it's going to be a hard hit. You're not looking forward to it. You're like, maybe I should just back off for now. If it was just a quick slap in the face, that might be something different, but you think it's going to be a lot worse than that. Now you got the King of Swords at the top, I'm noticing. And with that energy, you are communicating with this person is what I'm getting. But I feel like you're communicating about your immobility. I feel like you're talking about, I don't think this is the right time for this. I'm not saying I don't want to move forward. I'm just thinking this isn't the right time for this. And I feel like you are communicating that. But I also feel like you're not going into in-depth conversations if this is really hitting. You're just kind of like, this is what it is, that's how it is, and you're just kind of getting away from the situation before it becomes more of something you don't want it to be at the moment. You seem to be communicating with this person all the way through this situation, I gotta be honest. I feel like the communication is there, but it's very controlled. The King with the King of Swords, very controlled, very to the point, very, I'm saying this, I've said it, now I'm out type thing. Message sent, message received, and I'm out. Like, it's very, like, I don't want to get into the emotions of the situation right now. I just want to keep it on the level for where it should be. Now, this seems to be one of those things that even though you're not moving on it, you're not thinking it's the time to move yet, you do have the Star card with the energy. Just because you're not moving doesn't mean you don't want to. You have hope for the situation, and you are. I feel like that's one of the reasons you're like, here's the message received, great, I'm out. Because I feel like you're just like, I know how I feel, and I gotta be careful. I gotta be careful. I gotta get out of this. Because right now it seems like you're kind of looking at it like the Aphrodite's love spell, in the sense of like, maybe it was just a moment, it's gonna pass. But you're kind of like, I know what that moment was, and it could just ignite again, and I don't want it to just happen. It's almost like you could have like a quick flash fire, and you're just like, I don't want that to happen. I'm not against the situation. I am actually quite interested, but then I feel like you're also kind of like, am I just sexually attracted to this person? Do I just want to physically be with this person? Like, is there something here beyond the physical? I do feel like you're coming down on yourself pretty hard with that Devil card, but you are hopeful, and you do have a lot of passion towards this. But I feel like you're scrutinizing it. You're just kind of like, is it just a physical thing? Do I like them beyond that? Is this just going to pass? Am I going to end up getting involved in something and then being like, all this mess is mine and now I don't really want it? So you're going into you have that in the center, but you're moving into the future with that same energy. It doesn't seem to be passing. And what I see there is the Moon card with the Success card. There's a moment. There's an intimate moment. I feel like there's a flat-out intimate moment. This person and you are together. They're pursuing you. They want to be with you. They're passionate about being around you. The Moon card with the Success is telling me, I don't feel like you're expecting it to come forward, but it's not a bad moment. It's not like a Tower moment. It's just one of those moments where, I'm not surprised this happened. It feels good, but it's kind of like, oh boy, now what am I going to do? Now how am I going to handle this? Because the passionate moment happens. And I feel like you've been avoiding it, thinking maybe it's not the right time, maybe it's not something that really should happen, because you're questioning if it actually even should happen. You're like, is it just not the right time, or should I not even be a part of this? That passionate moment happens, you're like, oh, I don't say now. Now that it's happened, I feel like it's just too late. It just kind of happened. That moment happens, it feels good. I feel like once that moment happens and you have a moment to really think about it, because I feel the Knowledge card is happening from that moment. The Knowledge card comes to you, it's in your thoughts. You're kind of like, you know what, I see where this is going. Maybe it's just best to bite the bullet and get it done. Because I feel like I'm just dragging it out. I know how I feel. I know how this other person feels. Maybe it's just time to move forward and just stop the charade, because I don't really think I like the charade. I'm just going to maybe just get over the charade and just get it done. Because we already know how we feel. We're already stepping forward. This passionate moment happened. I was trying to avoid it. Apparently I can't avoid it. Before something else happens and there's really a big mess now, maybe just dealing with it, biting the bullet and just dealing with it. Because you got the Chariot with the wheel at the end, and I think I mentioned that when I first put down the cards. I feel like that passionate moment and you're thinking about it, you're just like, you know what? Why fight it? Full board ahead. With the wheel turns with the Chariot. The Chariot is kicking that wheel forward. And you're just like, you know what? Whatever it's going to be, it's going to be. I'm just going to deal with it because the passion is there and it just seems to be moving forward anyway. And you're kicking forward in it and you're just like, just going to bite the bullet and do it. And that's how that ends. Alright, so that's what I got for this read. Alright, good. If you'd like a direct reading from me, feel free to shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you for watching.